On Saturday, January 13th, unified champion of the light heavyweight division, Artur Beterbiev, is set to defend his titles against Callum Smith in Canada. Let's talk about Beterbiev, his defense against Callum, and what could happen. In a fight that I would consider the appetizer before the main course, Artur Beterbiev will defend his unified light heavyweight title against Callum John Smith, aka Mundo, on Saturday, January 13th in Quebec, Canada. This title defense is very important because supposedly, with the completion of this fight with success, Beterbiev will next be in line for unification for Undisputed against Dmitry Bivol, a fight that many boxing fans have been waiting for several years. That would be the type of matchup for Undisputed that fans have yearned for. And the WBC, WBO, IBF champion Beterbiev, who is entering this bout against Callum with a record of 19-0 with 19 KOs, has performed as a champion who is all business, getting rid of each and every opponent in devastating fashion as he has competed. He has had lulls in his career due to injuries and fights falling apart, but he is the type of man that takes care of himself physically, doesn't burn the candle at both ends, and though he is 38 years old, Beterbiev is not an old 38, he's a young 38. Callum Smith, on the other hand, is a fighter who's 33. He's 6'3" with a 78-inch reach. His record currently is 29-1 with 21 KOs. His single loss coming to Canelo Alvarez in December of 2020. That fight told us a lot about Smith because prior to that, he had been defeating his opponents with an array of boxing skills. We're operating behind the jab. He's an orthodox fighter. He once even set a record in a match for the number of jabs he executed in the fight. And that would serve him well against Beterbiev. But the difference is that Beterbiev, who's 5'11", is the type of fighter who likes to take the fight to his opponent. He likes to get within mid-range and operate from there with a seek and destroy type of disposition. He is a very determined fighter, often attacking his foes with acute pressure and punching accuracy. He is able to close the distance. His hands are fast. He throws his punches in combination. And lastly, his punches are very heavy. Beterbiev is a very strong man with such a slight physique. I've often referred to him as a throwback to fighters from the 40s and the 50s, guys who were really strong and stout, solid men who could just be physical in what they did. So Callum Smith, who is not the most of physical fighters, but can box, must stay away from the inside. he cannot allow Beterbiev to cross a certain distance, otherwise he will be in jeopardy. Now, his fight against Canelo Alvarez showed that he wasn't able to do that very well against Alvarez, who was definitely a smaller man than Beterbiev and not as strong of a puncher. Also, Alvarez was able to get to him and hurt him physically by punching him on his arms and shoulders, breaking Smith down on his way to a unanimous decision victory. If Smith can't uncork his boxing ability against Beterbiev, it's going to be a short night. And I do not believe Beterbiev fights as if he's looking for overtime pay. He's the type of guy that once he's figured out what his opponent is doing, he makes the adjustments, and he is relentless, a wrecking machine in there once he establishes exactly what he is ready and prepared to do. He does take a mental approach to his activity where he looks at the fighters and determines what is his best course of attack. That's the thing that I don't believe a lot of people pay attention to regarding Artur Beterbiev. He is a calculating assassin, and he has a high ring IQ. I've never seen him ill-prepared for a fight, and I've never seen him disinterested in a fight. He looks to go in and break people down, if not break them totally. I do believe this will be the case when he faces Callum Smith. I see Artur Beterbiev breaking this man down and going after him, stopping him late in the match. 7th to 9th round, TKO. But what do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts on this match. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone remain safe.